When Disney launched Disney XD, it was described as boy-focused but girl-inclusive. The channel catered to boys by having male leads in their shows, and the theme songs weren't sung by girls like on Disney Channel, but girls ended up watching the shows anyways. At first, the focus was really on male content, but then Disney XD stopped with that. They made plenty of shows, and today I'll be talking about the best ones, so let's begin. Zeke and Luther premiered 4 months after Disney XD launched, and I'm in the Band premiered 9 months after the launch. Both these shows were great, and I personally enjoyed him in the Band, so it sucks it didn't get the 3 seasons Disney usually gives shows. As for Zeke and Luther, I also thought it was great even if I wasn't a skater myself. Skating may be looked at as a predominantly male thing, but there's female skaters, and there was even a Zeke and Luther episode about this. Prior to this episode, you would see girls skating at ramps throughout the seasons. Kick Buttowski was another one of the good shows catered to boys since it was about a daredevil, but it was so good that everybody watched it. Gunther was the funniest character in my opinion, and it's cool. He was voiced by Matt Jones, who plays Badger in Breaking Bad. Brad and Kick's little sister plus their dad were always entertaining as well. Pair of Kings is also on the list, and it originally premiered on Disney Channel then. About 2 weeks later, it premiered on Disney XD. I actually liked all of the seasons, including the one where they replaced Mitchell Musso with Adam Hicks. I did miss Brady's character, but Adam Hicks played his part so well that his character naturally joined and didn't feel forced. Lanny with his fish were also good characters, as they always made me laugh when I wasn't laughing at what the Kings were doing and saying. Mr. Young is one of those shows not many people remember, but I enjoyed it. It was created by the same creator of Ant Farm, and you can tell it was low budget, but the episodes were always entertaining. Fish Hooks is another on the list. It was such an amazing show that some people consider it Disney's SpongeBob. Critics say it began focusing on its own fish universe too much and lost its creative touch, but I actually think the details of the fish universe is what helped make the show great. Justin Roiland voiced Oscar, and although the voice actors of the 3 main fishes later got in controversies, the show still remains solid. Speaking of great animated shows that have stood the test of time and have great detail in its world, Gravity Falls is ranked highly by many and is still talked about to this day. It only lasted for 2 seasons and actually wasn't canceled by Disney, but rather its creator decided to end it after its 2nd season. His reasoning was he wanted to create a finite show with a beginning, middle, and end, rather than going on forever or getting canceled. Crash and Bernstein was also a short-lived show, and I know some don't like the puppet gimmick, but the 2 seasons from this show were good. The characters were always funny, and the theme song was good, even if some didn't like it. Lab Rats and Mighty Med eventually combined into one show, but separated were great. Lab Rats had a great cast all the way down to Eddie and Principal Perry. Might Med also had a great cast from Oliver and Kaz to Alan, Dr. Horace, and Skylar. I get why it seemed like a good idea combining both shows, but Adam and Leo weren't included. Then, the ratings began to dip, and it didn't get renewed for a 2nd season. Now Kickin', in my opinion, was the best show Disney XD made. All the characters brought something to the show. And even if some people say the vibe changed in the 4th season, since it was in a new dojo, in a new location, plus there was no Kim anymore. But I actually think the show still remained good in its 4th season. Rudy and Jerry, in my opinion, were the funniest characters, followed by Joan and Ty from the Black Dragons. This show even had an episode with Joey Diaz being the Meatball King. Everything about Kickin' was great, except when Eddie disappeared and the show never mentioned why, plus the dojo never even brought him up ever again. The theme song was good, the karate gimmick was used properly, and it might not be fair to say this since he had the most experience acting, but Rudy was my favorite of the show. He knew when to be a parent figure to the kids, but was also constantly hilarious. Disney XD made Marvel shows, but I never watched them. I did know the Ultimate Spider-Man series, where Drake Bell voiced Spider-Man, was loved by many, but I didn't really get into it. Phineas and Ferb is also not included, because even if it was always playing on Disney XD, it's originally a Disney Channel show. Eventually, I'll make an individual video for the shows mentioned, but I just wanted to first rank the best series Disney XD had created.